from the Gulf Coast. I go to lonec. What's it called? Oh, it's called Arizona. Yeah, that's just a little too warm. That's just a little too warm for little old me. Oop, too high. Just. So here is one that I got to check this one out. This one's going to be an interesting one. I'm going to flag this one. So this one has, and I don't know if this is a bird doing this, but this one has a lot of little holes all the way through it. Now this could be insects coming in. You can see all the little pokies all the way through here. I don't know if you guys can see all those little holes. It's going to be interesting to open this thing up. This could be an insect that's laying its eggs inside. Could have been a bird that's poking at it, getting to the flesh. We just don't know. It could have been a branch. It could have been an actual branch, you know, as the wind is blowing and blowing the fruit around, because we've been getting some pretty good winds here the last couple of weeks. But there's no clouds in the sky. We are getting smoke from the California fires, so that kind of sucks. All right, so that one's done. One more. I had somebody ask me, why are you canning nectarines in your kitchen when it's so hot for a stream? Can't you just do something else? I'm like, I'd be doing these anyway. Oop. I'd be canning anyway. But the good news is, my new sink, we're going to start working on that after stream, this afternoon. I got to start pulling everything out from underneath the sink. And I'm getting rid of the sink that's here now, which is about, oh, get off of there. Oh, okay, spiders, not good. Which is about 30 inches wide, I guess. But one part of the sink is like, you know, the bigger part, and there's this little itty bitty part on the side. That's a worthless sink. That's where the garbage disposal is. I guess it's just mainly for prepping, but I'll be glad to not have to worry about that. I'm getting one giant, it's just gonna be one big sink. Because when I have to wash like big pots, like that big silver pot that's on the thing right now, that pot is half of the size, height-wise. Interesting, there's another weird bug. It's half of the size, height-wise, of what I do my turkey noodle soup in. So when I have to clean those pots, my gosh, it's challenging. It is challenging. 89 there in Indiana. So if somebody would do, I got to show you guys this, and then I swear, then we're gonna get started cutting stuff up. Let's see, I need 3/4 cup of lemon juice. I'll just do 3. Let's do 3 of these. 1, 2. You can go a little bit over, but you don't want to go under. Again, not for safety reasons. This is just for color and making it pretty. I need 2 things of cold water to put in there. 4 cups to a quart. 4 quarts to a gallon. Cerise, did you guys have to do all that? Did your chef instructors come around and quiz you? I mean, back in the day when I was going to school, I was on point with that, but now I'm not on point with that. I have to look it up. How many teaspoons in a tablespoon? How many tablespoons in 1/3 of a cup? How many cups in a 1/2 quart? You know what I mean? It's just like, it's like, blah, 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 blah. I can feel the heat coming in my kitchen window. It is so hot. I have to have it open. It's open right now about 2 inches, plus I have the fan going on my stove because I have my 2 big propane burners going right now over under the pots. All right, so there is our water for that. Let's get rid of this. Doot-doot. All right, so we are going to be canning up approximately 14 cups of fresh peaches, nectarines. We're going to need 4 cups of sugar. I'm not adding the clear gel. So the clear gel, I'm not adding my thickener. So when I go to use this to make a pie or make my little individual crisps or whatever, I'm going to put it on the stove, I'm going to bring it up to temperature, and I'm going to add my, either it's going to be cornstarch, I prefer arrowroot powder, it's a little more clear than cornstarch, and that's how I'm going to just go like a lot of things. Oh, they were rigid. We had our nails inspected every week, make sure our nails were trimmed and cleaned and all of the cuticles were cut and you know, not like polish, but no nail polish. If you had nail polish, you're like, you can go sit out for the rest of the day unless you want to go to the store, buy some nail polish, and then you're going to be docked for being late. I mean, it was just, but that's okay, you know, that's okay. I think so let's go ahead and we're going to get our stuff inside here. So, peeling the peaches, we don't have to do that step, thank goodness. So we are just going to go straight into cutting them. We're going to place them inside here. Place 6 cups at a time, 1 boil of water. So wait, they want me to actually boil these individually? Why would we boil the fruit because of floating? So there's a difference between raw pack and hot pack. Raw pack, we take the fruit or the vegetables, and not everything can be raw pack and not everything is hot pack. So make sure you read your recipes. So in this case, when I'm canning the nectarines in the jars just to eat as like a side dish, I'm doing a raw pack method, which means I'm going to be slicing up my peaches, nectarines. I'm going to be slicing up my nectarines, slicing the slices that I want, packing the jars, and I'm going to be pouring a light syrup over the top. That is a raw pack. Then they're going to go straight into the water bath. Now what's going to happen is during the time of the processing, the peaches are being brought up to temperature, to boil temperature, which is going to force some of the air out of these peaches. So in my jar, I may have, you know, all these nectarines up at the top. There might be a gap of air at the bottom. My fruit is actually going to float a little bit because all the air that was driven out, but there's still air inside the fruit itself. So it doesn't all get driven out. Hot pack means we're going to take the sliced nectarines and we would put them in a pan with a little bit of the syrup that we're going to be canning them in, and we'd cook them for about 5 minutes. Now this drives the air out of the peaches, at least 50% or more of the air out of the peaches. So when you put those peaches or nectarines into your jar and then process them, the remainder of the air is driven out of the fruit, and then you don't get that floating. I don't like double cooking. I don't like triple cooking. So I prefer to do a raw pack of my fruits and vegetables when I'm able to do that. Arrowroot is another modified starch that is from, I want to make sure I get the name of the, oh, where are you at? Where are you at? Woo, hello, thank you for coming in and thank you for that follow, Mama Bean. How are you? Of course, it doesn't. Yes, it's different clear glazes because remember, cornstarch can make your glazes cloudy. And the more we modify it and take out impurities, the clearer it actually gets. But it's done by a special. But it doesn't say on here. I'd have to look that up. But I can put it in the Discord. I can put it in the Discord. Mama Bean, how are you today? Thanks for coming in. Happy Wednesday to you. So if we're going to, for fresh fruit, place 6 cups at a time in 1 gallon of boiling water. Well, then I can save that water. No, it's cold water after that. Boil each for 1 minute. After the water returns to a boil, drain and keep the heated fruit in a covered pot. Combine water, sugar, clear gel, and, if desired, the seasonings that we're going to put in there. Stir a mixture and cook over medium-high heat until it thickens and begins to bubble. Remember, ours is not going to thicken because I'm not going to be putting the clear gel in it. So I do want to come up to a boil. No, I won't be using a pressure cooker. Pressure cookers I only use for low-acid foods. You can put this into a pressure cooker, but you're going to really mush out your fruit because now you're bringing the temperature up to 240 degrees and under the high pressure. So I'm using water bath, which I probably should get these turned up just a little bit. There we go. Okay, So let's do we're going to add 1 gallon of water to this. I'm using this one for the syrup and everything because it's a heavy bottom pan. It'll keep hotter longer. So let's get our 1 gallon of water boiling, and I'll be slicing up some peaches, and it'll all happen at the same time. Nectarines. Ugh. You guys. I think every time I say peaches instead of nectarines, I should have to do something. But I don't know what I would have to do. I'm sure you guys would probably come up with something really creative. Man, that is really warm from the water of the sink and then the water of the heat of the window. All right, here's half a gallon. And you know what? It says bring it up at a gallon of water. And the reason why they say a gallon, the higher the volume of your water, when it's at a boil, the faster it'll come back to a boil. So I'm going to get that on high. And for those who are wanting to learn how to can and don't know how, please let me know. I am happy to help out and do anything. It looks like it's a lot more confusing and in-depth on stream than it is when you actually do it. When I'm actually canning, it's not near this. It's not near this in-depth. Okay. What makes a pot boil faster? A lid and not watching it. If we watch it, it never boils. Mary Todd is here for doing nectarines. Oh yeah, you're here with the pressure canner. So peaches, smooth peaches, and tropical peaches. Okay. To me, there's a much different flavor difference in a peach versus a nectarine. There is a big difference on a peach versus a nectarine. Do I have one over there? Not empty, but I can empty one real quick. Just so you guys can see the difference. I'll just take out these little biscuits I have in here. There we go. So when you go to get jars, on pint jars and quart jars, you have a choice of smallmouth. It's kind of hard to see. Smallmouth versus wide mouth. You can see the difference in the size. Smallmouth has this shoulder, so the jar comes up. It's got like a shoulder here. These are great for doing sauces, soups, for things that you might have to be able to put your hand in there to actually reach in and stack things or move things around. You want the wide mouth jar. So if you're doing like half peaches, half nectarines, half pears, big bulky items inside here, you want, like the tomatoes, you got to be able to move things around. Getting the large mouth jar, I've never seen them as a different price between the two, of wide mouth versus small mouth. It's just total preference. Some people really like the smallmouth for doing their sliced peaches and sliced pears and sliced apples, because when they stack them in there, this shoulder will usually hold them down a little bit better so they don't rise all the way to the top. So that is that. Look at all the greetings, tropical peaches. I love that smears. So that is our difference between the two jars. So back in the day, I don't know how many of you go to garage sales. I don't know if they do garage sales in other countries, but going to garage sales, oftentimes, particularly out here, you'll find people who are selling old mason jars. So old mason jars, what you need to be careful of, this is a new ball mason jar. This is a regular mouth. Remember, it's just a regular mouth, so it does have the shoulder here. The bottoms, there's like this little ridge here. It's slightly concave, not a lot, just a little bit concave. So these are the new ball jars. These have been around for 20 years. But we're going to go back now to 1930s. So this is an old ball jar from the 1930s. Same regular mouth, lid on the top, but the bottom, it's very flat. I don't know if you guys can see. Does that show? Can you guys see the difference? How this one here kind of concaves in a little bit. This one's completely flat. These you do not use anymore. Are they still ball jars? Can they still take the heat? Can they still take the pressure canner? Yes, they can. But over the years of testing, they have found that by these jars, even sitting on the rack on the bottom, don't allow for proper water circulation to allow the heat to penetrate as well from the bottom, so we don't use it. I use these for rice, storing beans, storing cereals and stuff like that. All right, so we need to get cut up. Hello, Chuck. My hand won't fit in this box. Yeah, mine won't either. Mine won't either. I mean, I can, you know what? Here's the thing. I can get my hand in here. I don't know that I'd be able to get it out. And that concludes our stream today as Kanara goes to urgent care because there's not enough Dawn soap underneath her sink to get her hand out of the smallmouth jar. How are you doing, Chuck? Lovely to see you. Oh, and real quick, so before we get started, I didn't wear the t-shirt today. There's a personal reason why, maybe I'll explain someday. Maybe I'll give you guys an insight into something someday. But if we do exclamation point Oktoberfest, October with a C, I didn't do it with a K, I haven't done that one yet. You guys, there is the big Oktoberfest cook-along that is going to be going on October 3rd. This is with Ingrediology, Irish Kate, and Fourth Room Brewing. And they are doing these wonderful boxes so we can all make homemade pretzels together. Not only make homemade pretzels together, but there's even a mustard sample in there as well. Dan with Fourth Room Brewing is going to be also showing us some different beers that are going to be good to try. And the proceeds of these boxes goes to the Leukemia Lymphoma Society. And that is a wonderful organization for people who have these rare blood diseases to help get them treatment, to continue research. And this is your box. When you get it, this is your box. This is what your box looks like. It's all in here. It's all this wonderful goodness that's going to be inside here. So what's really nice is if we open up this, first of all, you have all of your flour that you're going to use to make your pretzels. You're going to get stickers. Come on, I don't care how old you are. Stickers are, I can't get my hand in here. Come on, open up. Oh, it's on the wrong side. Here we go. We have Ingrediology sticker. We have Irish Kate sticker. Oh, Irish Kate sticker. Look at it. She's even got a little pretzel. How cute is this? I mean, serious face? That is like so flipping cute. Ingrediology sticker. And we have Pantry Elf. Hello. Now we have Fourth Room Brewing because it's all about the beer. But wait, there's more. So we have our flour. This is going to cook everything up. Also comes with the yeast because you do need a leavening agent when you're making them. We have our seasonings and salt that's actually going to go on top. So we have all of our seasonings. You even have, I think it even comes with a baking soda. This we're going to be putting into the water. We're going to be boiling our pretzels in the water because that gives them that nice chew. The other thing you will get in there is a couple of ounces of homemade stone ground mustard. This is a fantastic mustard. I've already tasted it. I already love it. I helped Logan develop this to make sure that it's safe for everybody to be sent out. And then there's also, on Oktoberfest, look at, how are you going to open up those beer bottles if you don't have a fancy bottle opener? But all of this is in this kit. It is absolutely all put together for you. The only thing you have to have that's not in this kit, water and butter, and I think eggs. I think that's all you have to provide because obviously you can't ship bottled water, but that makes it too heavy and too expensive. So absolutely wonderful. How are you, Pantry Elf? Thank you, Cerise. Stickers are cool, Tinkleberry Pickle, and so is the name still. Love your name. My name just feels like, well, I've had my name for a year. Unless it's dehydrated water. No? Okay. Okay, we're not going to do dehydrated water. So let's get our nectarines going here. Does anybody have any questions regarding what we are doing today? That's already getting ready to simmer. I'm just kind of, ooh, I better need. You are almost boiling. It's the only thing I don't like about this particular lid. It doesn't sit firmly on there like my old 1950s canner lid sits on there. Let's get in there. Maybe we'll bring these up just a skosh. If I can get them boiling, then I can always tune them down. So we need 14 cups of fresh peaches. So I guess we're going to boil these for a little bit and then store them and hang on to them. And then we're going to add our sugar and our water, seasonings. We're going to put the boiled peaches back in there when that comes to a boil. Load them up in our jars, stick them to our canner, bada bing, bada boom, 30 minutes, they're done. While those are cooking, I'll be prepping the slices that we're going to be doing for the fresh peaches, and those I'm going to be doing in half pints. So let's